Thomas Edison reportedly said famously, it's 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. If you want to be successful in any business, particularly a transformative business, it's all about execution. It's all about being able to take your ideas and turning them into proof of concept, and then taking proof of concept and turning it into scalable businesses that can be deployed and where there is a reliable, consistent customer experience no matter how large the business gets. What this means is that you need different talents at different stages of the creation of a business. In the early stage of a business, you need talent where people are wearing multiple hats, where you're trying to keep the burn of expenses down as low as possible. You want to be lean and mean. You're trying to, in some cases, test out a new technology. You may be trying to bring in domain experience from a new domain that's new to that particular industry. But it's all about the shaping of a business. As you give a business shape, it's very different to be a shaper, to be a builder, than it is to be a runner, a manager of a business that is now starting to take a concept that's already been proved and scaling that out in a very consistent way. So it's what I call getting the right people on the bus. This means the right team on the bus. No company is built by a single individual. It's built by a team of people. And then making sure that you've got the right people who are on the bus sitting in the right seats. And the most difficult decision any leader makes is in the recruiting of people, the motivating of people, the compensation and incentives to those people. And I've learned time and time again that you're much better off investing in people than you are investing in ideas. The reality is, go to a place like Silicon Valley, and it's filled with smart people. You know, it's astounding when you discover everyone was a valedictorian. You discover that everybody is smart. And by the way, they all have really good ideas. So what does that mean? It means that just being smart, just having a great idea, is not particularly unique. And it really becomes apparent in a place like Silicon Valley. And you could pick other places in the world too. So I say that just to give emphasis to the fact that it takes different kinds of talent to make a successful company. And they aren't all talent that has to focus on the creation of the business. There are talents that focus on various functional skills within an organization. They may be the finance skill, it may be supply chain skill, it may be human resource skill, it may be raising capital skill, it may be marketing skill, sales channel skill. These are different skills, but they're quite different at the proof of concept stage than they are at the expansion stage. And so there's nothing wrong with saying we had exactly the right team at the early stage, but we need different skills to take the company to the next level. You know, not everybody can make that adjustment as a company moves from early stage to expansion stage. And by the way, not everybody wants to do that. Some people are people who say, I like to work in early stage companies, and I'll work at your company as long as you're early stage, but when you move into expansion stage, actually, that individual may want to go work at another early stage company. So this is so different than the world that I started out in business, where people went to the same company and expected to work there for an entire career. People today are becoming more and more independent. They do not have the same expectations of working for the same company for their career. And at the same time, the companies don't provide the safety nets of guaranteeing employment for a lifetime career. So in this world where everything is in flux, where people move from organization to organization, where projects are really the way business is organized. It used to be you could look at an organization chart in a large organization and you could understand how that organization did business. Today, that tells you almost nothing, because the way business gets done is by small teams who work on projects. And those people on the projects may not even be employees of the company. They may be contractors. They may be outsourced partners. They may even be customers. So you have to think about a world in which the talent that you're bringing onto the bus is the right talent for that particular task that's ahead, near-term task that's ahead. And then you need to think about, as you make a change in your business from early stage to expansion stage, do you have the right people on the bus, and do you have the right seats filled with the right talent? And you may have to add a few more seats on the bus as you start to expand and scale the business. And then which skills do you actually have to have on your bus, and which skills can sit on other buses but have virtual relationships back to your business? You don't have to build everything. As in the past, every company would say, well, we have to be vertically integrated in everything we do. That's not true anymore. It's actually much more efficient in terms of getting products and services to market faster, in terms of keeping costs affordable, to take advantage of technology where there's more collaboration across boundaries, where people may have different employers or even be independent contractors. So the people side of a business is just as important as the concept side of the business. It's just as important as the customer side of the business. It's just as important as the business model side of the business. All of these things are things that the adaptive innovator needs to think about. The adaptive innovator doesn't have to be the person who is the executive in charge of all of these things, but the adaptive innovator has to be the person who thinks about them and is looking at opportunities to adapt things that work well somewhere else, maybe in some other business, maybe in some other industry, adapting things that worked in another domain that can work in a transformational way. Because what's the goal? There has to be a better way. The fundamental belief of any adaptive innovator is that they believe that whatever the way the business is being conducted today, no matter how successful the company is, that there still has to be a better way to do it. And those are the kind of people who make the best adaptive innovators. And the purpose of this video series is to get you excited that the things that are involved in making you learn how to become a great adaptive innovator, these are learnable skills, and they can leverage off of things you may already know, and they may stimulate you to aspire to gain new skills. And for those of you who want to be adaptive innovators, you're going to discover it's a wide open world ahead, because in a world where it's getting harder and harder to find jobs for all the people they want them, the only way to have enough jobs for all the people who want them is that you've got to create more companies. You've got to create more businesses. The established businesses just aren't growing the jobs fast enough for all the people who need them. Not only did we see technology come in with productivity tools that made businesses more efficient, not only did we see heavy lifting robots came in and change manufacturing, for example, but we're now seeing smart, automated, intelligent systems coming in, and they're going to replace more and more traditional middle management jobs. So what happens to those talented, skilled middle manager people? It's not that they didn't have the work ethic or skills to be successful. It's just that technology is getting smarter and smarter with automated intelligent systems, machine learning, to point out one example, that it's eliminating the need for as many layers as large organizations have had in the past. And it means that those skilled people are going to have to find other employment in many cases. And my advice is, look at the opportunities. If you don't want to be an entrepreneur and create the business yourself, think about becoming an independent contractor, a free agent, and how you can work in that world of project work, which is more and more being handled virtually across boundaries of company lines. Or think about how you could join one of these new entrepreneurial companies. And maybe you're the change agent as the adaptive innovator, or maybe you're someone who plays a key role in the execution and the implementation side. But it's jobs that are dramatically different than the kind of jobs that we saw in every industry even a decade ago. So it's a challenging time, but it's an exciting time. And transformation businesses are going to play a role in terms of creating many of the jobs of the future.